Welcome to the Town Edge Bowling Center in West Seneca, New York. It's week 3 of Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart. We've had a 2-time winner. He's Mike Zarcone. He's going to try to make it 3 in a row against this lineup of bowlers. First match, Brandon Rolling, Jacob Patterson, the winner to take on Tom Kress, and then they'll get their shot at Mike Zarcone. Hi, everybody. Welcome to West Seneca, New York. I'm Paul Peck with Buffalo Bowling Hall of Famer Sue Nawojski. As you look at today's lineup, something jumped out at you.
Oh, that's right. We were seeing our first lefty this month here at the bowling center, but it's a fresh lane condition, and it just adds to the variety of bowler that we've had. All
right. Well, the one variety of bowler we have not had is our champion. Come on in here, Mike Zarcone. 2 weeks in a row. We have talked a lot, and you have talked rather eloquently about the challenges of the oil conditions here on the lanes. Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy being pushed by something beyond the norm?
Absolutely. The harder the condition, the funner it is. The scoring is a little lower, but it's fun.
What's the key to figuring it out?
Knowing what your balls do. That's big.
Yeah, and again, something that we'll talk a lot about, and Sue always notices, Mike always has the propensity to use different balls, maybe on different lanes at different times, because he's always trying to figure out what the lanes are doing. We will watch for that. Should be another fun week here. So let's get Brandon rolling. His first match against Jacob Patterson is next, right here on Beat the Champ. You're watching Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to our channel now. Don't miss any of the action.
Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. By BowlersMart, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. By Latina Boulevard Foods, your favorite family in food distribution. And by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to GoBowlingNewYork.com to find a center near you. It's Jacob Patterson and Brandon Rolling for how many times do you think I can make a play on words against Rolling here in this
I
match?
warned him. I told him it was coming.
All right, see, that's a challenge. I take that challenge. I enjoy that. So we get our first look at the debut appearance of the 33-year-old from Buffalo, Brandon Rolling. It's like a football player having the last name Touchdown, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Interesting first look right there.
Just couldn't get that 10-pin to nudge its way down, so Brandon will play for the spare here. Late to the game a little bit, only been bowling for 10 years, and that's not how Brandon wanted to get it started. Currently has a 202 average in the 3 leagues he bowls in, and speaking of debuts, got one on the other side, Jacob Patterson. 23 years old, hometown of Fredonia, New York, 215 league average. And our first lefty here at the Town Edge Bowling Center.
So back in the past, last time we were here, lefties did very well. It was Scott Dingman and Andy Reddick were the 2 lefties on the show, and they did very well. So the left side plays okay here. Certainly we'll have a decent scoring condition, but this is all fresh, so they're making their own destiny.
So when you say that the lefties do well, is that, well, hold on. Let me give you some more important information first, which is scoring and stats for today's show are powered by Costa's Family Restaurant, a Buffalo dining tradition since 1977. So the question I was going to ask you is, when you say that, is that because of something characteristic to the lanes, or is it because there usually aren't as many lefties and that side of the lanes hasn't been as disturbed as the other is?
That's a great question, and it can be either. But in this, there are houses that play better on the left side than on the right side, or left side better than other houses, I should say. And sometimes it has a lot to do with topography. And sometimes it has to do with the fact that it is not worn as much as it would be on the right side, which would probably play in the wood a little bit more. But so it could be either or. But in this case, this place does play pretty well on the left based on past performance here. And I guess you could also look at it as though, especially on a sport shot or a tougher condition, which we've seen in this house, the lack of play would probably be to the advantage of, you know, that person instead of having to deal with how other people have changed the lanes.
We are playing on a quote-unquote challenging medium scoring pattern here on the synthetic lanes at the Town Edge Bowling Center. And if you've been with us for the first two shows, we talked a lot about it, as have the bowlers talked a lot about the challenge of this oil pattern.
Right, that oil to dry ratio means it's a pretty flat pattern, which, so even though you look at the picture and the darker boards in the middle do show more oil, it's not the significant amount of oil difference that you would see on a house pattern, which is more 15-1. So it's very much dictated by how the bowlers play the lanes. So we could see something very different this week than what we've seen in the past 2 weeks, depending on the style of player and how they play the lanes.
And these lanes have been re-oiled since our last show, so that always will have some effect on it as well. And right now it kind of looks like both guys are trying to find the right spot to be.
Yeah, in this case, he pulled the ball in quite a bit, and you're not going to get away with that on this.
And he cannot get both pins on the spare, so that's two opens in the first three, sandwiching a strike for Brandon Rolling. Jacob Patterson coming off an open as well. Operations and IT assistant is the occupation for Jacob Patterson. Bowled in high school on the Fredonia, New York high school team. Two-time first-team all-county bowler. Finished in the 4th place in the New York State. Well, I'm sorry, that wasn't high school. That was later in his career in a New York State tournament.
Nice shot.
And that's why finally Jacob gets that strike. Been trying to qualify for the show a couple different times. Finally was able to put up the kind of score that gets him here on TV.
Yeah, and that's a little deep on the lane for a left-hander. I mean, most of the time you're going to see left-handers play characteristically closer to the gutter, more outside. Anything 10 and in is actually kind of deep for a left-hander.
Jacob said the one thing he does not want to do today is said, "Don't miss out," was his quote. So as he said, I can be okay if I get it in a little bit, but I don't want to get it out.
That's because you don't have all those free dry boards to the outside that tend to bring your ball in on a house shot. So that's not a desirable spot.
And a little better that time, a little too much head pin, and it's going to leave the 4-7 for Jacob Patterson to figure out. Our scores were not particularly high when we got started 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, we had some 150s and 160s. But then as things went on, you got John McDowell and Mike Zarcone started to put up some big. Adam Joswiak had a 237 and lost to Mike, to John McDowell. So the scores were getting better. But again, re-oiling on a new week and a new show might have some impact on that as well.
Yeah, fresh is always a challenge. Plus, you've got 2 new players that have not been on TV before that have to get through the whole butterflies and getting used to all those lights.
It is a proven scientific fact that when you're bowling for the first time here on Beat the Champ, you might not always be at your best. We've had exceptions to that over the years, but in general, there's just a nervous factor for guys like Brandon and Jacob who have never had the opportunity to bowl in this kind of setting and dealing with the lights and the crowd and the cameras and everything else that goes along with it.
Right. Well, at least they're in the same boat together. We'll give them that.
Brandon is a general manager in cellular sales at Verizon, bowls in 3 leagues a week. One of his good buddies is one of the top performers on our show, and that is Derek Green. Bowls with Derek at one of his leagues here in Buffalo. And, of course, it's Derek Green, whose 5 wins in a row last season are one behind our current record holder of Sam DeWitt, who won 6 in a row. And it was, you know, that's, matter of fact, who got Sam DeWitt involved in our show, but Derek Green. So Derek's been a heck of an ambassador for Beat the Champ. And
Great
that's
shot.
a nice strike by Jacob Patterson here in the 5th frame.
Yep, I'm looking for some nuances here from these lanes because historically the left lane has played tighter than the right lane. Now again, this is a fresh pattern and there's new guys playing the lanes a different way, so I'm just watching for the nuances. But Jacob has to open it up a little bit on the left lane. He got the last shot in, and that was not a good result.
6th frame, Jacob Patterson, much better shot. That is a double for Jacob Patterson. We'll take a break. We'll come on back and see who's going to be our first match winner. It's Storm, Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart.
I like Storm bowling.
I love Storm for so many reasons.
What I love about Storm the most has got to be the people we have. I win with them more.
The people at Storm really care about the sport, and they truly are the bowlers company.
I get to live out my dream and bowl on tour, and that's all because of one company.
The willingness and the strive for like excellence in winning. It's all about winning.
Presented by BowlersMart.
Plenty of options.
Chamois, jerseys, balls bags, and shoes. The highest quality products you'll find on the market, and here at BowlersMart, we make sure to find the correct access point of any bowler to maximize their benefits from our products and ensure a great experience. Stop by today and let us help you, because at BowlersMart, every bowler matters.
Brandon Rolling gets set for the 6th frame here at the Town Edge Bowling Center. Fun guy to talk to, Brandon. This is his first year bowling in tournaments, so wanted to test himself, right? Bowls regularly in leagues, enjoys the sport, wanted to kind of take a step up and test himself, and has started bowling in some regional, local tournaments, and obviously in the bowling community here in Buffalo, this is on that list of things if you want to make a step up.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty great that he made a show. It's not that easy to make a show. I mean, so good for him. But there's no other. You can't replicate this type of competition in league. You know, even if you need a strike, you know, normally you have 3, 4, 5 men on your people on your team that you're relying upon. This, you're all alone on an island and you have to make your own shot. There's no replicating this experience.
That's a 4-bagger for Brandon Rolling. 4, 5, 6, and 7th frames. Meanwhile, Jacob Patterson's working a double. Seventh frame now for Jacob Patterson, working 2 strikes in a row. Meanwhile, his opponent is on 4 in a row. And he misses the pocket and splits the pins and has a whole bunch of wood staring back at him.
Yeah, so this is a shot that just got away from him a little bit. It just got to the left just a little too much and not enough room for recovery, and it leaves something terrible.
Don't miss outside.
Yep, he did
That's
say
what he
that,
said,
didn't he?
right? Yeah, he made a good run at it, but it's going to be an open in the 7th for Jacob Patterson, his 2nd open frame. And again, he's got to know that as he heads to the 8th frame here, his opponent is 4 in a row right now.
Right. That's a lot of pressure. Not only did he need to strike, he certainly set himself back with an open right there. But that's how this lane condition is. If you just miss by a little bit, it's an open.
And the challenges don't get any easier now.
inside of target. Just took off on him.
Yep, the never fun to look at 6, 7, 10. Correction, that is the 4, 6, 7. Or, no.
4, 6,
Ignore what
10.
I just said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's lefties, righties. You know, it's the opposite. So
No, it's my eyes. Just didn't connect to my brain that time. So back-to-back opens for Jacob Patterson in the 7th and 8th frame, and Brandon is rolling downhill like a boulder right now with 4 in a row. Oh, I thought he was going to get a little lean over and take out that 4-pin.
I mean, it should loosen up your swing a little bit after your opponent just went up and opened both his frames. I mean, and you were already up by a couple pins.
Yeah.
So he just needs to leave makeable stuff. There's only a couple frames left.
Good spare for Brandon rolling. High 289 game, high 699 series for him. And again, newer to the game. Only the last 10 years, didn't pick up bowling till he was in his early 20s. You know, it's always puts a smile on our face when one of the bowlers says the highlight of his bowling career is making this show.
That's great.
That's awesome. Oh, there was the heart skip a beat moment there for Brandon rolling.
Yep, he's doing a good job of keeping it in play though, and that's he's got good ball reaction. That was you know, just ran out of steam a little bit, but that's okay because he's just got to keep it. He's just got to keep it in play.
All right, just the 10 pin now. Goes to the spare ball and misses it. That will not count. That's an open in the 9th for Brandon rolling. So that makes this a little tighter than maybe we thought.
Right.
Now, can Jacob Patterson kind of regroup himself and put the heat on?
Well, if he can throw the next 3 with good count, he'll force Brandon to have to spare in the 10th, which on this is no guarantee.
Much needed strike.
It's no easy task to throw 4 in a row on this either, though, so he's got his work cut out for him. Good start, though.
High school bowler in Fredonia, New York, college bowler at the Rochester Institute of Technology, RIT. Bowled for the college team there. Enjoyed competing in college tournaments. Those are some of his career highlights. All right, big 10th frame now.
Oh, it was a good shot, especially on a lane that, you know, he struggled on last time. That was a good adjustment and a good shot.
So not getting that strike will clinch the win for Brandon rolling, and Jacob Patterson puts him to the edge, but a little satisfactory glance and nod from Brandon rolling.
I think he just did the math and figured it out.
Is that what that look was?
Yep.
So Brandon rolling will advance to match number 2 against Tom Kress. And then the winner to try to see if they can't end the 2-week run of Mike Zarcone.
And it'll be interesting because Tom Kress plays very straight up the lanes. And Brandon has also chosen to play straight up the lanes. So what we saw in the first couple weeks where the lanes were getting opened up and it was favoring bowlers who opened the lanes up, we've actually only had a little straighter players this time. So it changes the outcome for Mike. He's going to have to look at the lanes a little bit differently this week.
168 is the final score for Jacob Patterson. And all of this is mathematically decided. It's Brandon rolling, who continues to rolling on. Match number 2 is next. Match number 2, Brandon rolling and Tom Kress for the right to try to take the championship title away from Mike Zarcone. Tom Kress, making his 4th appearance here on Beat the Champ, has yet to win. We saw him last month at the Cherry Laurel Lanes. And this is now the 3rd consecutive month that Tom has qualified for our show. Good strike to get it started.
Well, he'll take them how he gets them.
Yep.
But he's got to be pretty sharp right now. Bowling really well, making all these shows. And
yeah, 3 in a row. Mm-hmm. Brandon rolling off the 194 to 168 win over Jacob Patterson. Hopefully use that to kind of figure a few things out and kind of find a groove here. And that didn't necessarily look like he had done that yet.
No, he got a little right on that one. A little double dribble, didn't come back. Little tough spare here. He's got the sleeper in the back. He's got the 2-8. Got to hit this head on to carry it. Just like that.
And he does. Spare in the first frame for the 33-year-old from Buffalo, Brandon rolling. What'd you notice about his game in our first matchup here?
Well, he's got a really low backswing, and you know, but he generates his power with a hit at the bottom. You see that follow through. That's 2 he's missed left on the left lane, so he is not lined up on this lane. That is not the plan. He's a little bit far to the right. Got that
third arrow.
Yep, 12-13 board over there. That's not his target.
Spare ball.
Good
spare
spare, though.
pickup. 2 frames, 2 spares for Brandon. Tom Kress is 28 years old from Tonawanda, New York. 225 league average in the 4 leagues he bowls in right now. And again, if the name is familiar to you, we have seen him not just 3 months in a row, but his brother Ryan, twin brother Ryan, has been a regular on our show as well. Matter of fact, 2 months ago at Malwitz's Island Lanes, they bowled against each other with Ryan beating Tom Kress. I'm trying to remember, which one's the older one?
The lefty.
Okay, right,
Yep.
it's Ryan.
Tom's the younger one.
By like minutes, if
Yeah.
I remember.
It was actually Tom that went left on
Yeah,
the left-hand lane.
there is Ryan,
Yep.
trying to hide from the camera.
And
There he is right there, cheering on his brother.
Good adjustment there. He says, "Oh, I did better missing left." Really good shot there, though. That just stayed on line a long time. Oops.
Uh-oh, missed the spare. Open in the 3rd for Tom Kress.
Those are really important here on these conditions, which are a little more trying. You want to give the edge to your opponent.
Well, and again, and you see little mistakes like that, and you know, he's not bowling against Mike Zarcone yet, but if he is going to, we know those are the kinds of things
You're
that
right.
Mike takes advantage
Jump
of.
all over, because you don't
Yeah.
see too many mistakes. That is the difference between the experienced veteran bowlers, is there's just fewer mistakes. And when we talked to Mike real quick about changing balls, anything like that has to do with having your first shot consistent all the time. So you can't change balls if your game's not consistent. And as soon as you have that, then you can start to make good choices on equipment, because you know you're going to throw it the same every time. Tie match right here.
Yeah, so 3 spares for Brandon, 2 strikes and an open for Tom Kress, has us all even through 3 frames. Brandon was here early during our tapings, and you could tell he was just watching and trying to listen and learn and kind of figure things out. I don't think he has a lot of time here at Town Edge Bowling Center regularly, other than the qualifying, but but I admired the fact that he was keeping an eye on a lot of things.
Hand-
There you
hands are
go.
up.
Hands are up. It's a 5-pin.
It's not your traditional 5-pin, but it is yet a 5-pin.
And the smile on rolling. So, again, explain for our new audience in case they don't know.
When anybody leaves a 5-pin on their first ball, anybody who puts their hand up is saying, if you don't make this, then you owe me a drink, a shot, something. Got to make it. Pressure's on.
And that's because it is very rare to leave a 5-pin, right? It's oddly rare.
Even though it's a pocket hit, it's a weak pocket hit. So yes, it's rare, but
so you got to pay the price for that.
Yes, you do have to pay the price for it, and it should be the most makeable spare there is because you're just basically taking your strike shot again.
Right.
So the even bigger rarity is to miss it.
All right, well, he did not, which is good. Speaking of missing, Tom misses the pocket there. 13 career 300 games with a high 834 series for Tom Kress, bowled high school bowling at St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute here in the Buffalo area, Erie Community College on the college side, and has won.
That's
a back-to-back open.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, I think he took his spare ball out, took his plastic ball out, and tried to fire it at it and just misfired. I did talk about taking out by using a plastic ball on this type of lane condition. On your multiple pin conversions, that still kind of leaves you open to error. I think we're seeing a little lane change right here, and they're not changing favorably.
Yeah, so again, as you look at the scores here, Brandon Rolling's consistency of making 4 spares in 4 frames might be the play right now.
Well.
And again, that's another bad miss for Tom Kress.
I feel like his tempo is way too quick. Like he's just going up and firing, and on this type of condition, you really have to concentrate on your target and be very, very focused. And you also tend to miss to the right when you're a little bit fast.
And there's the first strike of the match for Brandon Rolling here in the 5th frame. Doesn't need to worry about making the spares here.
Nope, that was a good one. That's the first shot on the right lane that he hasn't leaked out to the right. And on the left lane, he's been missing in. And hopefully he can get that one under control now. He's got a little less pressure on him after the 2 opens.
And that one a little too much hook and goes back to having to get another spare.
Yep. .21 pin lead with a spare here, and Tom's not really showing much. Like he has an idea too much that these lanes have kind of changed, and he's sort of fishing around, looking for a line.
Another good spare pickup for Brandon Rolling. That'll take us to a break. We are midway through match number 2. Come on back. It's Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
fun with family and friends,
great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
We are the Bowling Proprietors
of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
Well, after 3 consecutive open frames, Tom Kress has made a ball change here to try to change his luck.
Yeah, he needs to have a different kind of look and leave something makeable for himself.
Hey, it worked. And that's exactly what he needed to maybe get his game back going in the right direction here.
Yeah, let's see what happens here on this lane. This lane's a little bit different. He's going to have to open this one up a little bit. Good shot. Well,
so 2 strikes in a row maybe gets Tom Kress back into this match. That'll kind of be up to Brandon Rolling, and a strike in the 7th means he is not willing to let that happen
that's
yet.
right. So Tom's either kicking himself for not changing earlier or proud of himself for actually making the move. We'll see how that plays out.
When do you know when's the right time to make a move like that?
He probably let it go at least probably a frame too long. But because the lanes are different, probably wanted to give it another chance because he did throw a bad shot. So,
boy, that one took a hard hook, but he was lucky enough to still get them all knocked down.
Well, he's caught 3 that way. He's caught 3 on the left-hand lane, missing in like that, and having it getting the Brooklyn strike. So those are technically breaks.
And balancing out with the 2 strikes after the double for Tom Kress is a great response for Brandon Rolling. And so far, the ball change has worked for Tom. That's 3 in a row.
I'm not going to say it doesn't hurt when you make a good ball change and you get yourself back in the game, and your opponent throws a bad shot and makes a double out of it. I mean, that hurts. But this is a good recovery, throwing a strike here, and just got to keep his head in it. It's only 11 pin difference.
So if Tom Kress can keep putting the pressure on. And he
this
does.
is the right ball. He knew he got that in a hair, and that held up beautifully.
4 in a row for Tom Kress in frames 6 through 9.
He's got his feet in the right place, though, but that was a little deep, and it just held for him.
You can see him. You'll see it there. He wanted that out a little bit. A little fist pump. Is there an answer? You bet there is from Brandon Rolling. 3 in a row. Had to sweat out the 7 pin for just a split second.
This has turned into an excellent match.
And again, I will point back to the fact that Brandon Rolling opened with 4 consecutive spares. He made those spares.
Yeah.
No opens could be the difference in this match.
Still needs 2 strikes here, though. On a lane he has not made a good shot on. That is no exception.
And that time he paid for the bad shot didn't pay off for him.
Here come the hands again.
Hands are up.
We've seen more 5 pins this month than
This
you
is
see it
maybe
in
the
entire
4th or 5th
season.
time. There are the hands up. Give me 5, give me a drink.
Oh!
Listen to the crowd. They could feel it there for a second.
Yeah, count is really important here because he wants to force Tom to double. If he doesn't get good count, Tom could just need 9 spare.
You can see that one was hanging a little too outside. So it's 2-12 on the board for Brandon Rolling. strike and 9 gets us one of the best come-from-behind wins we've seen in a while.
I would say it would be the best ball change ever.
He had 3 opens in frames 3 through 5. Then changed
Oh
balls.
my
Oh,
gosh,
boy.
and he throws a great shot.
Yeah, the reaction from Tom Kress tells it all.
Wow, that was a great shot for what could have been a win.
Look at that pin go dancing up, over, and around the 10. So it's a 212 to 192 win, and it sends Brandon rolling on to the championship match. Rolling in Zarcone is next. You're watching Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to our channel now. Don't miss any of the action.
Championship match, Brandon Rolling and our 2-week champion, Mike Zarcone. Are we going to crown a new champ, or are we going to up Mike's list to 3 in a row? He has now won 4 times here the last 2 weeks here, the first 2 weeks last season. And what Mike Zarcone has been able to do here on these rather tricky oil pattern conditions is average 222 in his first 3 games.
Yeah, and I don't want to put the announcer jinx on him, but he's been able to carry. And we've seen some people strike, but not be able to get anything going as far as strings going. And Mike's been the one to be able to do that.
And a good strike to get it started for Brandon as well.
An opportune trip 4.
So what Brandon will need to do here is continue to do what he has been doing. But, you know, as we've seen, when you go against Mike Zarcone, don't mess up, right? To be overly simplistic about it. And if you do, be prepared for Mike to try to take advantage of that. So stay clean as possible. And Brandon's been good at making his spares.
He's been good at making his spares, but he hasn't been good at figuring out the left lane. So it's a matter of whether he catches breaks here in the left lane, which he almost did again. I mean, right here, that's a bad shot, but it's been a consistently bad shot for him on this lane. And
if that one pin wasn't tipped down and hit the edge, it would have taken out the 10.
And then he comes back and makes a spare, and it's just a routine 9 spare. But the truth be told is he's just not lined up on the left lane. And can he bluff his way through it is the question.
All right, so we're always attentive to, is Mike Zarcone using a different ball on each lane? Is he making different adjustments? Is he doing something different? Because nobody thinks this game quite as well as Mike Zarcone
Well,
does.
this is the same thing he did last week in the title match, and that is pull out this Atlas on the right lane and use the silver ball on the left lane.
So this is Mike Zarcone's 10th appearance here on Beat the Champ, and I do believe that is the most appearances of anyone, right up there with Sam DeWitt. So you can see different balls on different lanes. The blue one on the right lane, the silver one on the left lane.
Yes, and I do think he did it the opposite the last week. I think he switched the other way and went back to the silver ball on the left lane. So Brandon's not letting him get too far away from him, though.
Nor is he wasting much time. We can barely get the replays in before he's up and striking.
This is the challenge, though. This left lane is the challenge for him. Little better shot there. Still went high, though. That ball's just reading too early for him, and he's not making a big enough move.
What is the move to make?
Well, he doesn't want to miss right, so there's clearly no right. So he's trying to keep the ball in, but he's overcompensating. So he needs to move his feet more left to keep his target the same, because there's no way where he is going to work for him.
3-6-10.
Not even close.
Not even close is right.
You do not want to give Mike Zarcone that opening.
So that's an open. Again, we talk about it. There's an open missed opportunity in the 4th frame. Mike Zarcone's already on a triple, and nobody is more attentive and watching and analyzing more than Mike is.
Brandon's totally handcuffed on the left lane. You can tell by the way his arm swing is that he just doesn't want to miss right or left. And
another strike.
Seems like Mike's not completely confident with this ball, but he feels like this is his best chance, and so far he's managed to get some little taps to keep him striking.
That was a nice little tap of the 7. Watch it.
Well, there's 3 pins dancing over there.
I was going to say, I thought the one from behind might have been the one that hit it, but it actually was. It was on the other side.
So you see how deep Mike is on that. You see how deep Mike is on that lane. That's closer to where Brandon needs to be.
Yeah, 5 strikes, 5 frames, 5 strikes from Mike Zarcone. There you go. Get a little fist pump from Zarcone. And that's a nice answer back off the open for Brandon Rolling.
Yes, the right lane is definitely not his problem. Now let's see if he can make the move to the left that he needs to make, because he is definitely handcuffed the way he's playing him.
So you want to see him line up a little more to the left.
His feet have to be left and his eyes have to be where they were, so it's going to open up his shoulders a little bit. He can't go too crazy, but he has to open it up a hair. Oh, we're looking at a different ball right here. Now he opened it up. But he didn't move in. So he tried to open up the lane a little bit more with a ball that I think he thought was going to hook more when he's throwing it into the OB. When you see where Mike's playing so deep on the lane, because that's where the hook is to the right of him. He just threw it into oil right here. Good spare.
Yeah, good spare in the 6th frame for Brandon Rolling, but he's up against a guy who has strikes in the first 5. Come on back. The conclusion of our championship match is next.
It's such a special community.
Storm is the bowlers company, more knowledgeable.
The company really cares about bowling. The products are great.
And the bowling balls smell good. .12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
You can see the great crowd here at our host center for Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart. It's the Town Edge Bowling Center, and you can follow them on Facebook at Town Edge Bowling Bar and Grill. They're just one of our many great host centers. And if you want details on how to be a part of Beat the Champ, just stop in at any of the host centers. Ask them, hey, how can I be on the show? And we might be seeing you here on the lanes, testing your bowling lane analysis skills against Mike Zarcone and the rest of our great Beat the Champ bowlers. And if you are going to come and test your skills, be prepared. 10 pin means the strike run of 5 is over for Mike Zarcone.
Yeah, that got a little right, ran out of a little steam, but you know what? He just wants to keep it in play at this point.
And it's a spare in the 6th frame. So if Mike wins this match, it will be 3 in a row, and he will join a group of 3 other bowlers who have won 3 in a row. Of course, Sam DeWitt III at 6 in a row is our current longest streak here into season 2 of Beat the Champ. Derek Green, who is, whose name was mentioned earlier, 5 in a row, and then George Shableski, Scott Dingman, and Josh Shoemaker have all done it 3 weeks in a row, with Mike Zarcone potentially on the brink of joining them.
Yeah, that never seemed to get out. At first I thought that he lined up a little bit right, but in the replay I could see that he didn't, but he definitely set that short. Paid the price for it.
And that's an open in the 7th for Mike Zarcone. Again, we talk so much about leaving the door open or having your opponent jump through it, and it's usually we talk about it with Mike. Well, hey, here's Brandon's chance.
Yeah, and he had a 55-pin lead going into that, so he's just
that's a lot.
Yeah, even if Brandon doubles, he can cut it to 30, but Mike would pretty much have to fall off the rails big time here.
Yeah, and that just usually does not happen.
So he went back to his original ball. He made that ball change, and then he went back to the original ball.
No cooperation from the 10-pin.
That's actually the first time he didn't strike on this lane. But it was close. He threw a good shot.
Yeah, the right lane has been his more favored location. Spare in the 7th. In case you're wondering, because we always like to drop this bit of knowledge in, talk about Sam DeWitt has won 6 in a row. That's the most we've had here. The all-time record in Beat the Champ, 19 weeks in a row by the legendary Nin Angelo. He did that back in 1970-71, and that is why in this town, that name carries a lot of weight, and anybody who's ever bowled in this town usually has a pretty good idea to know who Nin Angelo is.
Right. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier the first week about Bowl U, which is from his son Brad. So the Angelos have continued on with their bowling legacies.
Yep, they are one of those Mount Rushmore kind of names when it comes to bowling here in Buffalo, and maybe some reality is setting in for Brandon, because that is the kind of shot that you see from a guy who sort of has decided that he isn't going to win.
I can't disagree. It's like waving the white towel.
Yeah, well, and again, and we joke amongst you and I, and we joke with Mike himself that while on the surface he is not an intimidating person in his personality or his appearance, he might be just about the most intimidating bowler that anybody in this town will ever go up against.
Yeah, he can strike.
Because you know what he is going to do to you.
And just a little bit of conversation that you get with him when we talked to him, we got that in too. 2 bad shots on that left lane. I mean, it doesn't matter in this particular game, but it's not like him to lose his concentration to that extent. But again, when you talk to him a little bit in the openings, you get a little insight into how knowledgeable he really is.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy to talk to. I have learned so much from getting to know him through our show here and just talking to him. And the best question to ask Mike Zarcone is, hey, why did you do that? Why? What did you see? Why did you change balls, adjust, move one way or the other? Mike just is such a student of this sport that he's happy to share that information with you, which is just what's great about him and what's great about bowlers in general. He'll be happy to share it with Brandon too, knowing that good chance he might face that kid somewhere along the line.
Did you catch what he did on his spare shot?
On the line? No.
He switched balls again and tested out. Did you see on Mike's spare shot? he didn't go for the spare. He actually nicked the left side of it because he took out a different ball and tested it in the strike spot.
There you go.
And he ended up catching the end of the spare, but he was really just testing out another ball to see what it would do.
Because he knows he's got this match won, so why would I not use my last couple of frames to experiment a little bit? And I don't mean experiment, I mean learn, try and learn.
Just wanted to see what that ball would do.
Yeah. You know, and again, anybody that's out there watching this show that aspires to be a great bowler, please pay attention to Mike Zarcone and all the things that Sue talks about how he thinks the game.
Right. So, I mean, he was already looking at what the next move would be from the ball that he's using. He knows he's coming back
next week.
That's right. So, they're only going to be in this, you know, he's only going to be in this position one time where the lanes are broken down to this extent. So he just wanted to see what would happen.
162 on the board for Brandon Rolling. And it's Mike Zarcone that will come to the 10th frame to finish this off.
See, now I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the spare and then pulls out a different ball on his fill ball.
So this is going to be Mike's, well, we talked about 3 in a row. It's also his 5th overall beat the champ win, which moves him just behind Sam DeWitt for the most number, not necessarily consecutive, but the most number of wins on our show is now DeWitt at 6, Zarcone at 5, with a chance for Mike to tie that on next week's show.
So I'm surprised he didn't. He stayed with the same ball. And he threw it great, so now he knows.
210 to 162 is the victory for Mike Zarcone. That is 3 in a row for him. That is 5 overall. Beat the champ wins. We'll get Mike's thoughts on this and get you ready for next week when Sue and I return to the Town Edge Bowling Center next.
Presented by BowlersMart.
Plenty of options.
Chamois, jerseys, balls bags, and shoes. The highest quality products you'll find on the market, and here at BowlersMart, we make sure to find the correct access point of any bowler to maximize their benefits from our products and ensure a great experience. Stop by today and let us help you, because at BowlersMart, every bowler matters.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
Fun with family and friends,
great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
We are
the Bowling Proprietors
Of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. By BowlersMart, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. And by the Bowling Proprietors Association of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today. You know, a couple weeks ago when Mike was here, we joked that it had been a long time since you were here. Now you're almost like a co-host. This is 3 weeks in a row now that we're talking to Mike Zarcone. We'll get Mike's thoughts on the win in a second, but I want you to talk a little bit about, you know, from your perspective, what you see from him and how, as we've talked about, how good he is at thinking the game.
Well, surely experience, knowledge, concentration, focus, all of those things played into what we saw today, because he never let it get away from him that these two lanes were very, very different. And it took using different balls. It took making his spares, but he never let his guard down for a minute, even though he was starting to pull away in the match, and that just shows you a confident, experienced bowler.
I feel like when we show you watching your opponent in these matches, I feel like I can see the wheels turning in there. What are you watching for? What are you thinking about?
I really don't pay attention to what they're doing. I just try to pay attention to myself and make good shots, and hopefully we strike. So
you're not necessarily watching what Brandon was doing. You're just thinking about maybe what happened in your last frame and how you want to change from that?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I don't play into their game whatsoever. I just play my own.
Was there a point that we know you've been using a different ball on each lane. Did you flip them from last week's show?
No, I tried to stick with the same ball in the left lane because the left lane is still tricky. So I went with the two different balls, and it worked again. So.
One of the reasons we joke with you about the absence was you had to deal with an elbow injury. We can see you wear the brace there. How hard was getting through that and getting yourself back to where you've always been?
Yeah, it was tough. I was out for 3 months, and it's tough to sit on the bench. But we came back. I had a rest, and now we seem to be okay.
Do you really think that he went 3 months without picking up a bowling ball?
Oh, I think he cheated a couple times and came and bowled this tournament. But
I did.
But you ended up having to give it a rest. And
yeah, I did. I couldn't bowl the big one last year for this because it was way too many games for me to bowl. But hopefully this year so far, knock on wood, we've been good.
You feel like you are fully back to the pre-injury?
Yeah, I think so. I had to drop a pound in weight. I did switch to 14 pounds, but so far so good.
Yeah, so far so good, I would say, is exactly the way to put it. 3 weeks in a row, chance to make it 4 weeks in a row. That'll be next week when you join us again here at the Town Edge Bowling Center for Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart.